So the new Suicide Squad came out, and it was definitely different than the original. Wouldn't you say, guys?
Yes, without a doubt.
To put it lightly,
I
it's a smidge different.
yeah, just a little bit different.
So naturally, which one do you like better? Let's get that out of the way.
I think that's one of the biggest differences between these two movies, Gary, is that one of them is good.
Well, one of them is actually a movie. The other one is a loosely plotted series of scenes, I guess. So definitely the second one. The second one is better.
All right, so let's before we go into comparing and contrasting, let's talk about the new Suicide Squad. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it all around. What did you guys think of it? Like, I don't think I was bored the entire movie.
I had a really good time watching this, which is, I mean, I've watched almost all of the DC movies at this point. I would say this is probably the most fun I've had watching a DC movie in general, or at least any of the DCEU movies as of late.
Yeah, it's certainly fun and colorful, which I think the DCU has a lot of issues with, where it's always gray and drab, and no one is having any fun in these movies.
Hey, they got dark blue in it.
Yeah, woo, we got gray, black, and dark blue. What a great color palette. But they like for this one, they actually had lots of color, lots of fun hijinks, and so I wasn't bored to tears watching it. High praise.
Yeah, it's just got a lot of good things going for it. Particularly just that I actually liked all of the characters in this.
Yeah, their chemistry was
to the last one.
They actually had chemistry in this one
because they actually talk to each other.
Spoiler alert, by the way, big spoiler alert. We're going to be spoiling the entire movie, probably.
Yeah,
but you should go see it anyway and not have it spoiled because it was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should stop listening and go watch it because it's a fun, just ridiculous time.
And then come back and follow and like us and subscribe to us.
And then listen to our dumb opinions.
And listen to our correct opinions.
You should like and subscribe first and then go watch it and then come back.
Shoot, you're right. Okay, anyway. So about the first team they kind of they faked us out with. I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't see more Weasel Boy. I like the Weasel a lot. He's all tweaking out. He's like, ah!
That first team was really fun, and it was.
I didn't like the Deadshot, the other Deadshot clone, the guy that died. He seemed a little weird.
Deadshot clone,
the blonde guy. He threw the ball.
Savant.
Savant, is that what his name is?
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was supposed
to. It's Yondu. It's Yondu's actor.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't actually really know if that's like what he was supposed to be. It was like a Deadshot or like a Bloodsport or someone that's just like.
I thought he looked super accurate because he threw the ball and he killed the bird. I'm like, okay, so he's supposed to be replacing Deadshot in this movie. Cool. That wasn't the case.
Except for he wasn't. We had two other Deadshots.
We did Gisela.
Yes.
Which was far superior.
I liked Weasel a lot, which clearly they knew that people would like him because for all the like beginning jokes of the first 10-ish minutes of the movie, it's really just Weasel over and over again, which is pretty funny.
I actually didn't think they would kill off the people that quickly because they had the Captain Boomerang in it again, and I'm like, oh, they brought back Captain Boomerang. Maybe he'll actually like do something this time. And he still used Boomerang more than he did in the first movie.
He really did. No, I had a sneaking suspicion that something was going to go wrong. If only for the fact that of the team, I didn't know like any of them who like even remotely like, because I know these are all like C-list and D-list villains and characters from the comics, stuff like that. I didn't know who any of these people were, and I was like, oh, they're all screwed.
Yeah, there was definitely when they were showing the trailers for this, and because the trailers, they like introduce all these characters as if they're all like the main cast. And I was like, there is no way they're going to have this many characters throughout the entire movie. At least half of these guys are going to die in like the first 20 minutes. I just didn't know who it would be.
I like how they all got like gored or like ripped to shreds or something. Like I'm like,
oh,
they're using the R rating.
I know. I didn't realize the movie was R-rated until these people started dying, and I was like, oh, I see.
I will say I was pretty disappointed that Arms Fall Off Boy got killed. I was
The
really,
detachable kid. Come on,
the detachable
TDK.
kid.
TDK.
Well, yeah. That's his like movie name, but he's really called Arms Fall Off Boy. But I was really
rolls off the tongue.
Rolls right off the tongue. I was like I was like pretty sure he would die, but I was like fingers crossed he'll make it. But here we are. We got Polka Dot Man instead.
Well, you knew Harley wasn't going to die because
absolutely,
she's like the poster kid for the entire series now, or the entire universe.
Her plot
I'd say,
armor
like,
is too
yeah.
thick.
All right, that's really my biggest complaint with this movie is that Harley's plot armor is like 20 feet thick. It's insane. Every single scene that she's in, I have not a single doubt in my mind that she's making it unscathed.
Oh, absolutely.
They're never going to kill her because she's the only reason why people go to see DC movies anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, as long as like they don't do it for every character, which they didn't.
Which, yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on how they play it off. Like, because sometimes you have plot armor where it's just like there's no tension, and it's like, I know this character's not going to die because they're not going to die, which is kind of what Harley feels like. But they can like also play it off and like it just make it almost hilarious, just how thick the plot armor is on them. So as long as they play the cards right and they do it, correctly, I think they can keep that going. But I feel like there's also they have to be careful with that because Harley really has I'm like, if Harley's here, everything's going to be fine because they will not kill her.
Yeah. Or at least they can't like blow up the entire building they're sitting in because she won't die.
Well, they did blow up the building they were in.
If I'm in a DC movie,
oh, you know what?
I know.
Yeah, they did.
Standing
That's
next
true.
to Harley is the safest place.
At the end,
That's true. Yes. Which is also again true because everyone that was sitting next to Harley when the building blew up was fine. So that is statistically the safest place to be.
yeah. So that was the scapegoat squad, the bait and switcher. So the new people, Idris Elba, John Cena, Shark, and Ratcatcher.
How dare you?
And
forget our
Polka Dot
boy.
Man.
Yeah,
Polka
there
Dot
you go.
Man. I wouldn't forget him. I was saving him best for last.
The best for last.
except I like the Shark better.
I was supposed to say, like, it's King Shark.
King Shark is absolutely the best member of this team.
He's so funny.
He says like one word and it's hilarious. He like points at the bird.
It's just
bird.
his
It's just like, okay, that shouldn't be that funny, and it is.
And he makes friends along the way. He has a character arc, kind of.
He does.
He's like, I don't
also
have any friends, and now
appreciate-
he has a friend.
Yeah, I appreciate that they don't make King Shark like frustrating. Like when they were they went to that bar and they were like trying to be incognito, waiting for the mad scientist boy to show up. And they have a shot of King Shark sitting in the back of the like van, and he looks sad. And I'm like, King Shark's gonna burst into this bar and he's gonna blow the whole operation.
No, he was a good boy.
And then he didn't do that. He was a good boy. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
my boy King Shark.
King Shark's not stupid. He's just, he's a simple man.
It's a bit sharky,
He's a bit
but not dumb.
Yeah, and I think
I was actually laughing because they're talking about like how they're going to get into the bar and like disguises and stuff like that, like how they're going to like fit in. And all I could think of the entire time in the back of my head, I'm like, how the fuck did they get King Shark to fit in remotely whatsoever? And then they just don't. And I'm like, oh wow, that was pretty smart. Okay.
We just don't bring King.
We just don't bring him in. Genius.
Yeah, and that leads me to the point, like their chemistry was super good. Like they actually worked as a real team, as opposed to the first Suicide Squad, where they essentially just didn't interact with each other, and whatever they did, it was just super artificial.
Yeah,
because it was only Deadshot and Harley doing anything in Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. They're the only two characters that really mattered, and everyone else was sort of just set dressing, and they kind of just were there to just be there. And it's crazy that in the first movie, the entire group doesn't really have a conversation. They never really talk to each other.
One conversation.
Yeah, and they have the
bar.
One conversation in the bar, which is one of the best scenes in the movie because it's some actual character development, and these characters, actually say why they're there or like what they're even remotely fighting for. And it's like, obviously they don't want to die, but like, why would they be there, period? Why would they take on the mission? And it's the only time that they really get to bond as characters. And then immediately afterwards, they ruin all that, all that buildup by saying like, we're all friends, we're a family. It's like, you guys literally talk to each other for 10 minutes. How are you a family? Are you serious? Just dumb.
I remember I finished watching this movie and I was thinking about how much I liked it, and I was thinking about the other movie, and I was like, man, yeah, Deadshot, just he was like Will Smith. Bloodsport was way better. Like Harley Quinn was way better in this movie. Really, and like the other characters from the old Suicide Squad, they were just like so. And I realized in that moment, I don't even remember who was on the old Suicide Squad from that movie. I remember
Killer Croc.
You mean King Shark?
Yeah, yeah.
The running gag in this movie is that everyone from the first team is basically replaced by someone who's almost the same thing in this second movie. Like it's pretty funny.
Yeah, going back and I remembered the characters as I went back, but in that moment of being like, I literally couldn't tell you. You put a gun in my head, I couldn't tell you who was in that movie the first time, other than Harley
Quinn.
And
remember some of the best characters, like Diablo and Captain Boomerang and our boy Slipknot, the man who can climb anything. And let's not forget the best part of the team, Katana, because she's got my back. I would advise not being killed by her because her sword steals the souls of its victims.
Yeah,
great dialogue. Great.
We're gonna get copyright
for that. They really wasted the potential of Slipknot. I just gotta say, what a shame.
He's kind of like
climbed right out of that movie. God bless.
I think it's the only smart one of the team. That was like the thing too about like that movie was I think Slipknot's really the only member of the team that gets killed throughout that entire movie, right? Like
Diablo sacrifices himself for his family at the end.
See, I don't even remember that.
He literally says it too. Like, I've already lost one family. I'm not going to lose another one. And
even though
it's like, sure.
Like, haven't talked the entire movie. They're like not a family.
Yeah, if it isn't apparent
to like each other.
The first movie sucked. I would never actually recommend anyone to watch that movie unless you're trying to study on what not to do in order to make a film. It's the only reason why you should ever watch that movie.
Explicitly what not to do.
No, seriously.
And it also has nothing to do with this movie, so you don't need to watch it to
That's
context.
For not true. How dare you? Are you kidding me?
What do you mean?
They have the whole joke with Bloodsport literally just being Deadshot and like short of them winking at the camera to be like, we know that you know. There's a couple callbacks too when Rick is talking to the Thinker and saying like, hey, like if you step out of line, you die. If you never follow my directions, you die. And then Harley's like, if you've got personalized license plates, you die. He's like, what? No, that's not a thing. That's literally ripped straight from the first movie. Just played for a laugh this time because it was stupid in the first one.
Well, right, but you
obviously
this
you have
isn't
to watch
like
the first movie now.
This is not a quintessential, follow. You don't have to watch that movie to understand this one.
Oh, God, no.
You watch, any other like Marvel cinematic movie. You watch number 2, you're gonna be like, what is happening if you haven't watched number 1?
Actually, the coolest thing about the Suicide Squad over the first one is that they give you the premise of here's a bunch of villains. If they disobey orders or do anything wrong, here's a bomb in their neck and they explode. The missions they're going on is probably going to kill them anyway. It has the Suicide Squad name. They explain that entire premise in like 4 minutes by showing Savant in his jail cell and being like, taken to the mission. Literally the first like 45 minutes of the first movie is them explaining that premise. So they condensed 45 minutes of nothing from the first movie into like 5 minutes.
What was the actual timer mark that they actually went and started to go do something?
Oh my god!
When they were leaving on the helicopter to go,
it's legit. It's like 48 minutes or 49 minutes.
It's like that. Yeah, the rest of that is exposition, and it's a slog, and it's filled with so many licensed songs. Their entire budget must have went to licensed songs. They're all like high-profile songs too. They're not
good songs. They're just not used in the movie well at all.
It must have cost a fortune. It was one after the other.
Yeah, it's
so since we're on the topic of plot, let's kind of compare the two. So Suicide Squad, first one. Can you give me a synopsis of what the plot was supposed to be? So she's making a team, right?
Yeah.
She's making the team in case something happens where they need to send
something
in.
Has already happened. I think.
No, not in the first one. No,
in the first one,
it was just in case, right?
Yeah,
it was like an initiative.
Amanda Waller's idea is to have a team of people that are expendable so that she can use them in any way that she sees fit to basically just throw at the wall and to get a mission done. She she gets the rest of the White House like staff. I guess they're like it's like the Secretary of Defense and like other people. Who cares? But she gets them to agree to this by saying, "What if Superman was evil? We could get a team of people to stop Superman," which is hilarious. But whatever. So that's how she gets the team made.
Wait,
but that's not why the team actually gets used in the first movie.
Question: at this point in time, so I haven't seen any of the other DC movies. Is Superman dead or something at this point? Why wouldn't they get Superman to take on evil Superman? Or is he dead? I don't know. Spoilers.
Before Batman v Superman.
Yeah, this was before Batman v Superman, so he was still alive. Spoilers, I guess, for that shit movie too.
But like I think DC, or at least Snyder's vision, was definitely for something to go wrong with Superman.
Well, yeah, because he's a joyless husk of a character in the DCEU.
He has that whole fallen future, so I don't know. Maybe they were just thinking they were doing some clever foreshadowing there.
They weren't. Fun fact.
Okay. Anyway,
so yeah,
so
that's what she making the team.
Yeah, and she brings in the witch.
Enchantress, how dare you?
The Enchantress, whatever, into like a
Show
top security area.
Characters.
And that's how she convinces them to build the team, because she says that she has the Enchantress under her control with the heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so she proves that she has control over these people.
Yeah,
Let's
she
make
proves
a team.
that they can do things that other people can't do, like, basically US soldiers, and then proves that even if they were to like disobey, she stabs the heart, and like, the Enchantress immediately is like, "Oh, please stop stabbing me." And it's like, "Oh wow, look, she proved her point. Great."
Okay.
Wonderful.
And so she gets the team, and then the Enchantress goes and causes the problem. So her own team causes the problem, disproving her own point that she needs. Like, it's so stupid.
Well, it's also funny because her whole point was like, whoever controls the heart controls the Enchantress. And
clearly that
point
the case.
Immediately gets thrown out because Enchantress goes to her brother and is like, "Brother, please save me." And he's like, "Okay," and pulls out her heart, I guess, which was already pulled out, and then she can't be stabbed anymore. And it's like, okay, whatever. So stupid.
Yeah, it was weird. Okay, and so he's terrorizing the city, and so Waller has the Suicide Squad that she just created to go and quote unquote extract a very important person, a VIP,
a HVT,
which turned out to be herself, stuck in a room in the middle of the city. Like, why wasn't she gone at that point?
And that's meant to be a plot twist, but like, why would we care that she was still in the city whatsoever? And what even was she doing in the city? Why was she even there? And they just hand waved that away, like, whatever, don't think about it.
It's so weird. The mission wasn't even to destroy the monster either.
No, the mission was literally just to get her out.
So she made her own personal team to get her out, but her own team caused the problem. So she had to get her own team to save her. It's so like it keeps looping on itself.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make any sense. The plot doesn't make sense in the first movie.
And so they go save her. And then she kills her own people in there for some reason.
Yeah, because she says they weren't cleared for this mission, which doesn't make any sense, because if they weren't cleared for the mission, then why the hell were they there with you? Obviously, they have clearance to see Suicide Squad. So, like, she just shoots them anyway. It's like, whatever, fine. Okay. They did it just for the shock value of like, oh, she's a bad bitch. She shot all of her teammates.
Yeah. Anyway, so they go save her, and then they go kill the big bad.
Woo. World is saved, I guess.
That was it. And that was it was a mess of a plot.
It's not good.
It was a slow plot too, because half the movie was exposition.
And then the last half is mostly nothing anyway. They just fight not zombies for like 40 minutes until they finally get to the Enchantress, and then they kind of fight her brother for a bit, and then just stab her heart, and then they win. And it's like, okay, whatever. There's nothing of substance in that movie.
It was very obscure.
Yeah.
And so that sucked. But comparing that to the new one, there is, what was the original mission? I kind of forgot. What was the original mission when they sent both teams to the island?
The whole reason
or the country.
they're in there is to just make sure that U.S. secrets don't get out, right?
Right. Okay. So yeah. So they go and make sure that what was the star's name? Shoot.
It's Starro.
Starro. Yes.
It's
Of
Starro.
course. Yes. How stupid of me to forget that. So they're going to make sure that those secrets don't get out. Plan is going pretty poorly. First team gets completely annihilated,
as they were always meant to be.
Apparently. I think that's kind of the point, though, isn't it? Isn't that why she sent 2 teams? One is a distraction.
Oh, okay.
That also confuses me because I'm like, she sent freaking what's his face, Rick Flag. Did she just send Rick Flag off to go die?
Well, Rick Flag gets out.
Well, I think it's because I think she meant that team 2, so like Bloodsport's team, is the team that was supposed to die. They were supposed to be the distraction, but I think it's the wrong beach they were sent to is like kind of the thing.
They're not a very organized organization.
Oh well, they got betrayed by Blackguard.
So that's right. Yeah.
Blackguard messes everything up. So that was the case where the other crew was supposed to be the one that dies. But that also wouldn't make any sense because Peacemaker's there to make sure that everything goes okay.
Yeah, because he's the mole.
All right, so maybe that's a plot hole.
I wouldn't really call it a plot hole. It's more just like it doesn't really matter. Someone has to die. It's a Suicide Squad.
Anyway, Harley and Rick Flag get out. Rick Flag is does he get captured by the Resistance?
He gets saved by
the Resistance.
Technically, they point
Harley
guns
gets captured
at him first.
Yeah,
Harley gets captured.
And so Team 2 are boys and Ratcatcher, and Shark. They all go and they get redirected to save Rick Flag first, and so they go save Rick Flag. And they accidentally kill like half the Resistance in that camp. The entire Resistance in that camp.
That was that was like very much so as this was happening. I'm like, I know this is supposed to be like Resistance or something. They're going to be killing them, but it was still just as funny.
But they did a good job at R-ratingly killing all of them.
Yeah,
it was a cool scene, and they were outdoing each other.
I know they're just like having a pissing contest on like who's the better killer.
The joke, the line at the end where he where Peacemaker shoots a guy from over his shoulder, and Bloodshot's like, no one likes to show off. And he's like, unless it's dope as fuck.
Yeah, boy.
Bloodshot just turns around. He's like, damn it, it's true. I lost my mind during that scene. It was so fun.
John Cena's hilarious in this movie as Peacemaker.
He is, yeah.
Every single one of his lines. He pulls out the notebook during the mission briefing, and he's like asking all the stupid questions, and Amanda Waller's getting irritated with him. It's fucking hilarious too.
I feel like everyone was in, like, Harley Quinn in the first Suicide Squad movie was like, I just felt like every joke in that movie came off as like mostly cringy and not very good. But like I felt like hers especially were just like very nails against a chalkboard versus in this movie she actually was very like she was pretty
characterized correctly, kind of.
Yeah. It was so much better.
Yeah.
And so then we split off to see Harley getting captured and flirting with the was he the dictator?
He was the new leader, head of the dictator of this island. They had a mutiny. Yeah,
and that was probably the slowest part of the entire movie. That went on for kind of a long time.
It's kind of a pace killer.
Yeah, but I mean I think that's like the only instance of the pace getting killed, which is not too bad.
Yeah, and it's kind of just that whole thing is a little weird in general, just because there's 2 of them. There's like he just gets replaced immediately by some other guy.
It's kind of weird. Anyway, she kills him and then gets captured, and then Rick Flag tells Team 2 that before they go do their mission, they got to go save the other team member, Harley. Except she saves herself, and like that was probably the coolest action sequence in the entire movie, in my opinion. It had all those flowers and things coming out instead of blood. It was cool. I liked it a lot.
It was Meet the Pyro Harley edition.
Yeah, well, if any of you played Team Fortress 2 and seen Meet the Pyro, that's essentially what that was.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was, of course, again, the plot armor thing.
But I mean,
definitely going to get out of this okay. But the flowers and
down an empty hallway, it doesn't get shot somehow. There's like 40 dudes.
Yeah, but they did it stylishly, so
it looked cool. So I'll forgive it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, just Peacemaker kid. Well, it's dope as fuck. So who cares?
And then wait, shoot, when did they go to the bar? Did they go to the bar? They go to the bar before getting Harley, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
That is before, and that's why I think where he learns that Harley's alive. I don't remember exactly, but he learns Harley's alive, and then he's like, "I'm gonna go save her."
Yeah. The bar scene was fun. They got a little time to just talk with each other for a bit, and they talked with each other on the bus too.
Yeah, so that's when you see Ratcatcher 2's like entire thing with her and like Bloodsport and Sebastian, who's the best character by the way.
Yeah, they have so much time to like actually bond because they have they're camping out on the first night, then they have the car ride, and then they have the bar, and then they have there was another. It was like 4 different instances where they had time to do that.
Well, there's time where they're like walking through the jungle too, where they're like bantering with each other.
Yeah.
Most of the dialogue between the characters is them like strengthening their own character arcs and just bantering and having dialogue, service the plot, which is really good, but it's also servicing their own character arcs, which, man, it's really good when a movie actually has characters.
Yeah, they actually had time to, flesh these characters out because they didn't have to have like 15-minute long backstories for Deadshot and Harley this time. Bought them a lot of extra time.
That's true.
All right. Anyway, they go and try and save Harley, but she saved herself, and she's like, "Oh, I can go back inside," and that was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
She was very flattered by that.
Yeah, and I like that she has like a bond with Rick Flag, and that he cares enough like about these characters to not be like, well, screw him. He's in contrast to Waller, who continues from the last movie to just be insufferable, which is the point. Which is I'm absolutely supposed.
They do a great job of making us hate Waller.
She's the worst.
We do. Oh yeah, oh man.
Yeah, I don't know that actress. Whoever she is, she does a great job at just being really hateable.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they do that, and then they go to the real mission to, conceal Starro. Not even conceal Starro, just make sure the secrets don't get out. Because what'd they do? They did a space mission. The United States did a mission, and brought back like samples or something of that.
Well, they bring back Starro itself.
Oh, they bring
Starro was just floating in space, and they're like, grab the starfish.
Yeah, and then it all went terribly awry. But they managed to contain him. And so the big thing is that Waller doesn't actually care about stopping Starro. She wants to make sure that the U.S.'s involvement is kept under wraps.
Right. And then Rick Flag gets the hard drive, and he's a pretty noble dude. And he's like, people got to know about this. And then John Cena comes out and is like, no, JK.
Peacekeeper comes in to keep the peace. He'll kill as many women and children as he needs.
No, he's just like, I'll kill anyone. And I do mean anyone.
and he doesn't lie.
Yeah. And we have a fight scene where they punch each other. And we have
it's like a two-way fight scene.
Yeah. But they also have just a shot that I appreciated for being different, in that his Peacemaker's helmet falls off, and we watch them fight through the reflection of his helmet.
That was cool.
And I was just like, I feel like that shouldn't have worked as well as it did.
It seems super cheesy, but I enjoyed it.
I kind of don't like that shot. I think it's cool. I think it's really varied and unique, and I like just the creativity of it. But you don't really know what's going on. Like you can see the reflection, but you can't see it well enough to know exactly how the fight is going, which I kind of didn't like. But it was really cool, and I did appreciate it just for being a fun shot.
Yeah. But so then, go ahead.
Then we lose Rick Flag, which is sad.
Yeah.
Which I wish I had bet on it, because that was my bet, is that the everyone was saying like basically the only two characters that are safe in this movie are Rick Flag and Harley Quinn, and I was like, no, that's wrong. There's only one character that's safe in this movie, and it's Harley Quinn. I was like, I'd be willing to bet money that Rick Flag would die, specifically because they think that the audience, are like, they'll never kill him. He's like the good guy. He is the one that leads the team, and there you go. And I wish I made that bet before I watched the movie. Would have made like, I don't know, $2.50,
$1.50, yeah, something like that.
$3.50.
But yeah, then he tries to kill Ratcatcher 02, or was it Ratcatcher 02? Right, that's her name.
Ratcatcher 2, yes, because her dad was Ratcatcher 1.
Yeah, we got that. And then she see what's going on, is like, and tries to do the right thing as well, because she's not evil. She's just kind of crazy.
I don't even know if she's crazy. She just tried to rob a bank and she uses rats.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But,
I'd say it's more misunderstood than anything. Like, she seems to be like a good person, like, and all of her interactions with the team and just other people, she seems to just be nice. It's just that she robbed the bank.
And her powers is rats, which is gross.
I know. Idris Elba, or I should say Bloodsport, being disgusted by rats didn't really seem like Bloodsport. It seemed like Idris Elba himself, the actor, was just terrified of rats, and they were like, yeah, put that in the movie.
Make it a thing.
And they made it canon.
Oh yeah.
but yeah,
That's pretty fun.
Peacemaker almost kills her. But then some crazy actiony stuff happens, and then Bloodsport shoots the bullet through the bullet. And
the thing.
I love that they set that up, and he actually does it.
Supposedly kills Peacemaker. Which we find out apparently is not the case.
So I don't know this, but I guess that's kind of already been spoiled that Peacemaker wouldn't die, because apparently there's going to be a Peacemaker TV show. And so
really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I heard about this later because I was like looking at other people's reviews and like what they thought of the movie. And I saw a lot of people saying like, well, we already knew that Peacemaker couldn't actually die because the TV show. I was like, I'm sorry, the what? And apparently that's going to be a thing. So if you knew about that, then this entire plot twist is like kind of ruined for you. But I sure as shit didn't know. So that was cool.
I didn't know about that either.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But yeah, that fight ends, and then the big Starro comes out and starts destroying the city, and then Waller is like threatening them to like get back or I'll kill you, right?
She doesn't care about Starro as long as the secret is safe.
Right. But we finally got our redemption because everyone at the office just decided like, yo, she's kind of crazy. So let's just
they just bean her.
Knock her out. Yeah.
They
disarmed the neck bombs, right?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
But I was kind of disappointed by that scene. Just because in the first movie, Waller shoots everyone like that, like her entire team, but just in cold blood, doesn't seem to care. Yeah. And so I thought it was gonna be this version of that. And then in the second movie, her team cares so much they would kill their own boss in order to like, save this island country. It's kind of unclear, but it's like save all the people on this island. And then it was like them standing up for what's good and like what's right. But then you find out later that Amanda's alive. So that kind of sucked. I thought that was gonna be the whole joke, is that the team killed her to like do more good. But
yeah,
I feel like
they kind of have the hard drive thing as leverage though, so that they can do whatever they want and
get away with it.
Exactly. I don't know how that team's totally gonna die though. Like she's gonna get them killed.
Yeah, that's what the next Suicide Squad. That's what the next movie will be about. She sends a new
all the office workers.
Suicide Squad to go kill the old one.
No, I was talking about like the office workers who knocked her out.
I guess they can die too.
They're definitely dead.
Well, yeah, she glares at them at the end. She's like holding an ice pack to her head, and she's just like staring daggers at all of them. It's like, yeah, y'all are dead. Like I would never, ever, ever show my face around her ever again.
But yeah,
they did the right thing.
They fight the starfish. They kill Polka Dot Man.
Oh man,
abruptly. Like, they did him dirty too. He just got stepped on.
I mean, I thought it was really obvious that he was gonna die because he's the only one that could actually fight Starro. He disintegrates people like just by pointing polka dots at them, and it's like he's the only one that can do anything. So obviously they have to kill him or incapacitate him somehow. And they just step on our boy.
Yeah. He wanted to die though, so it's okay.
Yeah, you really did. Oh my god, man! This mission's gonna kill us. I hope so. It's just like
he was a sad boy.
I can't believe John Cena be like, what is he gonna do? Throw polka dots? And then later he's like, oh my god, you really do throw polka dots at people. And he's so excited saying that.
Yeah, they pulled it off pretty well of having someone with such a weird ability. Like such a random ability.
He's absolutely a joke. He's absolutely just some character that probably wears a polka dot onesie in the comic books, but they also in this turn him into like a weird body horror kind of thing because he like grows glowy tumors that
that's weird.
His face like freak out, and it's like, oh, that's like kind of terrifying, but also kind of cool. It's like all three polka dot fans are probably fine with that, you know.
3, it's generous.
There are dozens of us, Tyler.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yep. And then they save the day, and they have the leverage on Waller. So they
gotta say that Harley jumping into Starro's eye, surrounded by rats. I was like, this is the grossest thing I've ever seen.
That was a fun scene. I enjoyed that.
I love that she uses the javelin though. She's like, this is not what it's for.
Turns into a dragoon.
That whole scene was fun, but I was also like, ugh.
She does turn into a dragoon. Man.
Javelin Harley needs to be the new canon. No more baseball bats. No more bonk.
No, not the baseball bat. I like when she has the hammer for the stupid like ring the bell carnival game, and she doesn't really use that in any of the movies, and it irritates me because it's fun.
Oh, like the mallet?
Yeah, the mallet. Mallet. That's a good word. I'm dumb.
What's the difference between a hammer and a mallet? Is a mallet just like a bigger, wider area?
I think so, yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
But how's that different than a sledgehammer?
Well, sledgehammer's sledgier.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Hang on. I'm actually kind of curious now. What is the difference between a hammer and a mallet? Okay, here we go. According to woodworkingtrade.com, the main difference is that hammers are generally metallic and mallets are usually non-metallic.
So you can't have a wooden hammer?
No, that would be a mallet.
What if it was a mallet, or like, what if it was a wooden thing that looked exactly like a hammer with like the whole traditional hammer kind of look?
Might be one of the worst
still a mallet
in all the world.
Anyway,
okay, hang on. But sledgehammer, no, hang on. I'm gonna one more thing. So sledgehammer is basically a mallet but metal, and that's the difference. So a sledgehammer is just a big hammer. Yeah,
it is still a hammer. Okay,
there we go.
Okay, I guess it's just depending on the material then. Cool.
So it's a mallet, and I want her to use the mallet more because I really like that, but she just doesn't.
It's a fun visual for sure.
She used it in Birds of Prey, at least. I got that going for me, which is nice.
Did you watch Birds of Prey, Ryan?
I did watch Birds of Prey, yes.
How did you like it?
It was I didn't dislike it, but it was definitely like kind of like one of those one and done movies for me, where I watched it and I had a good time, but I was also like, oh, I don't really have any desire to see
I think if I watched it again, I'd be extremely annoyed by the exposition. Again, it had the same problem with Suicide Squad where it takes forever for like stuff to happen.
Yeah.
Because I think Harley goes through the like half the movie just narrating it, and then she's like, wait, gotta do a flashback on what Black Canary is doing.
Yeah.
And it's like half the same scenes.
Yeah. I think a lot of these other movies really have an issue with like just being like, okay, let's stop. Exposition dump time. Here's my long tragic backstory. And in this one, you know, we basically get the gist of what Bloodsport's whole deal is in that like scene where he sits down, he has a phone call with his daughter, you know, and you're just like, oh, he's like kind of messed up. And you kind of get his whole gist like just from that scene even. Right.
Yeah, you can tell a lot if you can tell a lot in a short amount of time if you do it correctly.
Yeah. Polka Dot Man is pretty much summed up pretty quickly, but you also get a very good idea like what like, you know, he and his siblings,
just from his mannerisms,
his mother's or by his mother, and he sees everybody as his mother, and it's like they use that visual like pretty often. It's horrifying.
Kind of a corny joke. It's kind of funny. I don't hate the joke. I didn't find it as funny as some people did, I think.
I didn't really. Well, there were a couple times where it was kind of funny, but it mostly was like kind of uncomfortable. Just sometimes seeing things of like, oh, that's creepy and weird, and that's how he sees everything. That's
Disturbing.
Good old-fashioned polka dot man. Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like they did a lot better of a job, like explaining these characters' like whole shtick without wasting our time.
Without a music video montage.
Yeah,
without
God.
the music video montage.
And
They still used music in this.
They do, but they do it decently.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. Like
it didn't feel out of place.
No.
I feel like
that's the thing. Like people complain about licensed music in movies and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, like, but these are good songs. And it's not that people are judging it by the song choices or saying like it's, they don't like the songs being the movie. It's more just they feel out of place. Like, why not just have a movie score? Like, why put in any of these licensed songs? And that's what all of the first Suicide Squad was just licensed songs throughout the whole thing, and they're just randomly placed. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to bring up, was that with all the music and the flashy colors the first one had or tried to have, and it's ironic to me that first Suicide Squad is so painfully obviously trying to capitalize on like what Guardians did for Marvel. Like it is just absolute. That's 100% what it's trying to be. And then they managed to get James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, to then make them a Suicide Squad movie that feels almost nothing like Guardians to me.
I didn't get the vibe at all.
Yeah, it doesn't feel anything like Guardians. It feels less like Guardians than the first Suicide Squad does. But the first Suicide Squad does that like terribly. So it doesn't feel, it's not a good thing that they tried to do that.
I think the gore helps.
I find that funny. Yeah, I find it funny that they've got the director of Guardians to do the thing to make the movie they wanted to make in the first place. And he's like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. And it works perfectly.
It's almost ironic, but not really. Like, it's just, they were just like, poetic. We can't get it to work. And then James Gunn's like, why, hello there. Like,
just do that thing you did with Guardians. And he's like, I'm going to not do that. But the movie will still be good.
I'll still have a ensemble cast of random people that probably no one cares about, and I'll have you care by the end. By God, you'll care.
And we did.
Cared about all these
I like every single character.
I was super worried because they kept bringing a lot of attention to Sebastian throughout the movie. That Sebastian was going to get killed. That was going to be like Ratcatcher 2's like big sad moment, and that
would have been very sad.
I was going to bawl my eyes out if they killed the cute little rat.
They almost killed King Shark. He survived so much.
They tried to kill him like 4 times in like a 5-minute sequence, and I was just like, please don't kill him.
He like fell out the building. He like gets crushed. He gets shot at.
Well, he's getting eaten too by
the squids. He's a trooper.
And then he gets thrown through a building by Star, and I was like, please don't kill him. I was so worried.
I was sweating. It made me worried. Yeah. And I think that's just a testament to how well it was actually done as a Suicide Squad concept.
Yeah.
Like
the first movie.
Like if you're doing Suicide Squad, you have to have the very real threat that characters are going to die or can die. And they did that.
Yeah. And that's something that's like in the comics, the point of the Suicide Squad is every mission, at least one of them dies. So in the first one, it was that one guy whose name I forgot, but it's okay.
There's a lot of characters to keep track. I'm sorry, I'm very bad with names now. There's just so many characters to keep track of.
Well, also that first movie doesn't have any characters whose names are, they don't matter enough for me to remember their names. Versus in this one, almost everyone. It feels like almost everyone dies. But
in the first squad, yeah.
Yeah,
Squad 1.
But like, I also feel something when they die in this one. I'm like, oh, I didn't want to see Polka Dot Man die.
No, no one did. Everyone, and like, he's like a fan favorite online from what I've seen.
Even like Rick Flag, who like I didn't care about in the first movie. I was like attached to him by the end, and I was like, oh, no, you killed my boy Rick.
I think the saddest part of that is that like he risked all that to save Harley. And then she actually doesn't get to like go back with him. Like they don't get to do more like buddy stuff. Like,
yeah,
which feels like I don't know. That's kind of sad. She clearly, thought of him as a friend.
Yeah, is that even? Does that ever even address? Does she ever have a moment? I don't even remember where she acknowledges Flag is dead.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember if they do or not.
I feel like I don't remember that happening.
Huh. I feel like that'd be really obvious to do, and I actually can't remember if that scene exists.
Yeah, it's kind of because Bloodsport like falls from the sky through, falls through the ceiling, and then he shoots Peacemaker, and that's kind of
They drop it, I think, after that.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, Ratcatcher and Peacemaker and Bloodsport are really the only ones there for it. Harley kind of misses the whole deal. So,
Weird.
Oh well. Maybe Harley will have her revenge arc in the Peacemaker TV show that's coming, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know when that's supposed to be coming or like exactly what's happening in it, but I just saw people talking about that online. And I was like, what are any of you talking about? Did you like all have a fever dream, like a collective fever dream? So I'll take their word for it because enough people said
They said it on the internet. It has to be.
It has to be
Yeah,
true.
you think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
No.
No. All in all, very enjoyable. And this is gonna sound like really biased, but I can't believe DC made a movie that I'll watch a second time.
Yeah, I'd watch that again. I'm trying to think, like, other than that, I mean, the first Wonder Woman was pretty darn good. I thought the second one was
that's definitely prior to this, that was the best movie.
but that's like literally a carbon copy of a Marvel movie. It's like beat for beat.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of like Captain America.
Yeah.
First one.
You just swap out the character.
I did really enjoy that movie, and then they kind of ruined it for me at the end with the big, just doing that DC thing where they do the big CGI fight at the end. That was
Which the Suicide Squad also did.
Yeah, like this movie
Big
does as
CGI
well. But I'm
monster
also
fight.
like, we're fighting a giant starfish. Like
It's
just
so stupid.
The
that
comic book boy in me, I'm like, I would have never dreamed I'd see this.
Oh, because the movie is entirely very comic booky, especially with the title cards where you'll have like the words.
Title cards were cool.
The landscapes and stuff like that. That feels so comic booky.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just fully, when I feel like a lot of these comic book movies are at their best when they just embrace that.
Embrace the weird.
But they also got to do it correctly because sometimes they try and it's just really dumb. But
what they're weird a lot, their emotional moments hit harder, I feel. It doesn't feel like they were trying to do something. You're not expecting it, and then it hits you like a truck. You're like, oh shoot, what is this feeling I'm having?
Am I sad?
Am I sad? Yeah. Bloodsport and Ratcatcher, they had a great dynamic. Kind of like a father-daughter sort of dynamic.
Yeah, he was becoming her like new father figure as the movie went on. And he saw maybe his daughter in her a little bit. So no, I enjoyed their dynamic as well. It was good. And like they have that scene at the end. All the rats are here. It's super gross. They're all running over him, and he's like cowering on the floor.
Freaking out.
She's holding on to him. And it's just like, this is disgusting. But it's also kind of sweet. I hate rats.
I don't hate rats anymore.
I had no strong feelings either way. I don't know what to tell you. You know what the best part is? Speaking of rats, that final stinger of the movie, our boy Weasel's still alive. And
he's
if
coming.
they make more of these, I want the running gag to be that Weasel dies in every single movie, and then the post-credit stinger is him actually not being dead. I want that to be the running joke. I would
just can't get rid
There's
of
our
Weasel.
Weasel TV series.
It would delight me to no end that happens in every single movie.
Just Waller is constantly trying to kill Weasel by sending him out on suicide missions, and
he just can't die.
He just won't die.
But he also doesn't do anything important. He also gets nothing done.
He just keeps
Apparently
falling
he's
into
killed
water.
People, though. It's canonical.
Children. It's just that he ate children. It's like, oh shit, okay.
That's just instinct.
Yeah, okay. How many weasels have you seen that eat kids?
0.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
So far.
So far, you know what? That's true. Maybe I should be terrified of weasels. You guys are scared of rats. You're not seeing the big picture. Weasels.
Weasels were the real threat.
But yeah,
I can't believe they took
go on.
such an adorable animal and made them just so
Feral.
hideous. Absolute monster. I will say that, like, I kind of was like, there was, it was such a like a conflict inside of me where two wolves, and one wolf said, "Weasel's really dumb, and I really want to see what he does throughout this entire movie," and the other part of me was like, "Weasel is such an eyesore. I don't want to look at him." So I kind of was like, "Oh, thank God, he drowns like immediately." I was like, "Oh, Weasel's off the table. I don't have to worry about it anymore."
They did it just for you, right?
Just for me.
It's kinda, I have 3 wolves, except the third wolf is horny for Weasel. Because look at that thing.
He's yeah.
It's
He is kind of thick.
that's peak.
What?
Well, no,
What
he's
weasel
not.
are you looking at? He's a beanpole. What? Stop misutilizing thick. Oh my god.
Quite the opposite.
Now, King
Anyway.
Shark is thick. That's a thick boy.
Yeah, he definitely is. But all in all, I'm excited to see if DC like learns from this and says like, hey, maybe
Boy,
we
I
can-
doubt it.
Yeah.
Do you think James Gunn will do another Suicide Squad?
I don't know.
How did it sell? If it sold well, then maybe.
I think box office wise, it didn't really do all that well, but streaming wise, I'm pretty sure it's like a huge draw for HBO Max, which I'm not surprised that
Yeah.
box office for everything sucks right now. So I don't think they were expecting too much, but I've heard that it drew like a huge crowd for streaming. So
That's
I could
'cause-
see them doing another one.
Also, HBO Max is fantastic.
Yeah, I really appreciate them putting this movie out and not charging me $30 for it.
Cough.
That would be nice. Could you imagine a company doing that? Tragic.
Yeah, it's locking their $30 purchase behind a subscription service. That would stink.
That's insane. Do you have to have the subscription too on
Yes.
top of buying? That's wild.
Yep. Or you can get HBO and then they just put the movies on.
I'm pretty sure I get HBO through my phone provider, my internet provider too. So like I don't even explicitly. No, I get it through something else. Amazon maybe. So I don't explicitly pay for it separately. It just comes with,
Right.
which is even nicer. I don't know how they're making money.
Maybe they're
How do
not.
they do it?
Maybe they're not.
Maybe WB is just like bleeding money.
It's just falling apart.
Do we know?
Well,
Are there any other like DC EU movies announced after this? Like I don't know of anything after this one.
there's still supposed to be a Flash movie.
Oh, Black Adam. No, they're still doing Black Adam with Dwayne Johnson, right?
Yep, we're still getting Black Adam. We're getting a Flash movie.
Is
We're
Flash going to
getting-
tie into the show?
No.
It's
Not
not. It's
at
gonna
all.
be
Well,
different.
they could potentially have it tie into the show because apparently it's going to be very multiverse.
Oh, cool.
Apparently,
That's what we need. More multiverses.
we're gonna get.
Are we getting
Batmans
Flashpoint?
in there? Yeah, I think so. What
Ooh,
other Flash
great.
story is there?
There isn't.
There's only one. It's Flashpoint.
Oh, it's still gonna be Ezra Miller as Flash, right?
Yes.
God, I
It's
hated him
still
as
be-
Flash. If that wasn't apparent enough.
I've never seen anything with him in it. So
Well, the only thing I've ever
Trying
seen him in is Justice League, and I hated every moment that he was on screen. He was just so unfunny. It hurt.
well, they
Ugh.
needed somebody.
Yeah, it may. I don't know. I don't know if that's his fault or the script's fault as well. Not that I'm a big Ezra Miller apologist or anything, but
I mean, I don't know anything else he's in. That's the first thing
Yeah.
I'd ever seen him in. So
I would have said that Harley's the worst character ever because every joke she had in the first Suicide Squad movie was nails on a chalkboard. But in this one, I was like, you know what? Harley's not too bad. I like Harley. So maybe he just needs a good script. We'll see. But I don't think beyond that. I know we have another Batman movie, but that's outside of continuity. That's a separate thing.
that's right, Battinson.
Yeah, we're getting Battinson.
Forgot about Battinson.
Pattinson, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they've announced another Wonder Woman at this point. I don't think we have. I don't think that they. I don't know.
Wow. Well, I guess until they make a third Suicide Squad, I have nothing to look forward to in DCEU. Cool, great.
Back to Marvel, I guess.
Pattinson doesn't look too bad. The new Batman looks like fun. At least
I
on the short trailer we got.
will pretend that I won't watch that movie. Be like, oh, DCEU is really bad at making Batman movies and having Batman as a character. But you know, I'm gonna see it anyway. I adore Batman. You could put Batman on anything, and I'd still watch it.
Hell yeah, dude. We love.
I still watch Pattinson. I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah, and Pattinson's actually like a good actor. I know we all
very good actor.
We all attach him to Twilight, but like he's actually super talented. So
yeah.
I have no complaints.
Pattinson here to save the day.
God, I hope so.
Any last thoughts on Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, before we log out?
I thought it was great. Best DC EU movie so far.
Yeah, I think it was my favorite.
Guys. It only took us how many movies
a lot
to get here? A lot. So
it's a lot of fun.
Did it.
Very zany, very colorful, very comic booky. And it worked really well all around.
Yep. Give me more polka dot men. Not like polka dot, like just F-list supervillains from like a forgotten time. Give me I'm thinking of Big Wheel, but that's a Marvel character. DC can steal Big Wheel, put him in Suicide Squad.
All right. So anyway, thank you guys for joining. Keep in touch though. Follow us on Twitter. What's our handle? @MondayMunkin. Sorry, I forgot it for a second. We're gonna be doing a giveaway soon, so keep on the lookout this week or whenever I decide to post that. We're gonna be giving away a $25 Steam gift card. Very exciting. More details to come. So make sure you follow and subscribe to the channel if you want to be a part of that action.
Always. We have a very fun episode planned for next time too. Ryan and I get to talk about something that we both adore for just a very long amount of time, and then I guess Greg will be here too.
We're gonna be in here for another two-parter. Maybe
I've got skin in the game.
You do have skin in the game now. That's right.
It might be a 3-parter. What do you mean? I guess I have skin in the game. I played every single. Never mind. The spoilers. Anyway, we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.